Hello everyone, and welcome to Snowfell Charm School, which is also a temple of Aphrodite. I am Evangeline, and I'll be your host and oracle this evening. I'm gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna take a sip of my smoothie. Um, my mom made me. We did some yard work today. Me, my mom, and my dad. It's lovely, lovely, lovely day today. If you're watching this today, I hope you had a lovely day. It was beautiful out, very hot, but beautiful. Mm. Man, that's good. Mm. Mm. You want to sip? Here, have a sip. It's good, right? Delicious. Mm. No idea what's in it, but it's delicious. um, I'm gonna jump right into it. Um, how I do my tarot card readings, I pick a particular card to represent our main character or our client or whoever's looking for advice today. This may or may not resonate with you. You may identify as this person, you may not. If you do resonate with this person, then the advice is free for you to grab, whatever you want to grab. If you do not resonate with them, then please just use this video for entertainment purposes. I also do a little bit of a psychoanalysis on on our main character or our client today, or the person seeking advice. I have a 12 type personality system. I use how should I say this? The references I use are the Big Five personality assessment as well as the DSM-5 personality disorders. I like to think of personality as a spectrum, so you can be exceptionally aligned, which means that your personality is well adapted to your environment, or you can be misaligned, which would be an indicator of disorder. So you can't move on with the rest of your life, or it's just difficult to do so. Um, so I have changed, if you're with me, I have changed a few things. Let me just pull up my notes on my phone real quick so I have easier access to it. I should have pulled it up before I started recording, but hey, you know. Um, so, you may or may not be interested in this, but I'm going to say this while I shuffle these cards. We have... Here at the Temple of Aphrodite, we're very, very interested in relationships, especially romantic relationships. And the 12 personalities that we have distinguished, I guess if I'm using that word right, are split into 4 categories. The first category is going to be, and I changed this before, so if you've been following me, I've changed a few things, so I'll try to reiterate this in my future videos as well, so that we stay on the same page. But I have group 1, and that's going to be the romantic desperate, and that's going to consist of 3 personality types. All of them consist of 3 personality types, but the romantic desperate are going to be or the personalities that are available, I guess that's a good way to say it, or available in the romantic desperate, are going to be dependent, avoidant, and repressed, which if you've been watching my other videos is I would normally call them stable personality, but I think repressed is a better way to do it since we're using terminology for disorders. Excuse me. Group 2 is going to be the unromantic, and that is going to consist of paranoid, schizoid, and schizotypal. And group 3 is going to be the romantic resistant, so that's going to consist of narcissistic, antisocial, and obsessive. And lastly, we have the romantic category, or romantic group, and that is going to consist of borderline, histrionic, and distracted. Now, this was at one point social, but I think as far as a disorder goes, it aligns a little bit more towards a distracted personality trait. Okay. Now again, this is all spectrum, so um, I here at the temple, it's ideal that we aim for a romantic, being part of a romantic group. So again, that's borderline, histrionic, and distracted. So if you ever been called these things before, welcome. You are a guest of honor here. Um, but this whole practice is, well, it's to practice self, or not self, it's here to practice acceptance of personalities. So everyone's personality we're trying to accept. There's no way to get rid of these energies. The energies just exist. They've always existed. They will always exist. All right. So when we talk about, especially when it comes to romantic resistant, narcissistic, antisocial, and obsessive, we kind of, I think as a society, we kind of look down on these personality types, or I did have even yesterday. um, but these are necessary energies. They're obviously necessary. They're obviously necessary. If they weren't necessary, they wouldn't exist. Um, so yeah. I keep on getting two at a time, so I think this is going to be like kind of like a big reading. I'm gonna keep shuffling until I get one. Haha, we got it. Let's see who it is. All right. So at the bottom of the deck, first I'll say who our client is. Our client is going to be the Adolescent of Wands. If you don't know already, all the knights are represented by adolescents, and the adolescents or knights are going to be represented by the big five personality trait of extroversion. All the wands are also going to be represented by extroversion, or going to represent extroversion. So this is extra. Read all about it. Extroversion. So this is going to be a lot of like outgoing, loud, possibly violent, possibly sexual, something like that. And the reason why our client or guest, the reason why we have a guest here at the temple is because they're looking at advice for conflict. They're going through, they go through a lot of conflict. There's a lot of conflict. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of conflict in this individual's life, and they come to us to ask for advice. Ambrosia, nectar of the gods. Probably is, honestly. That's just like, well, I believe. Should I be? I would say, if you would like to, your personality aligns with certain deities, archetypes, energies. Okay? That's what all that is. At least in my perspective. Now you can have a different perspective if you want. But my perspective as head oracle of the temple here, we run on that. And if you whatever you do, your personality aligns with certain archetypes. So whatever you do is a bit of a worship to that archetype by action. And if you want to do something a little bit more like physical or grateful, or how to show your appreciation for your patron gods, or if you're a patron to the gods, food offerings are often done. That's very traditional in lots of different cultures, to leave out food for spirits, deities, ancestors, things like that. one of, if you do a bit of a Greek type of, or you could do any, honestly, but I do think that the ambrosia aspect comes from Greek mythology, and I think that a good offering of ambrosia would be milk and honey. um and whatever milk of your choice, lactose intolerant or vegan or whatever that is, or whatever you want to, whatever type, but a cream of some sort, and honey is a good ambrosia offering. And you leave it out for a moment of time, allow the deity to partake, and then you drink the rest of it. Okay, that's how you give gratitude, right? So my altar is over on this side of my room, over my bed. So and it's Aphrodite, so for her, um actually, yeah, I was just gonna leave this here for her to have some. It's much more polite to let them partake first than you, but it's much more polite to do that. So, take a little bit from me. I'll probably give an offering tonight, before I go to bed. Um, yeah. For those of you who are interested in romanticizing your life, then I think that's all that it is. Well, no, it's a very magical thing to romanticize your life, and a bit of deity worship is a great way to do it. Now, again, you can do ancestors, um, general spirits. You can do you could do universe in general. You could do whatever um, head or whatever deity that you resonate with. Okay, no wrong way to do it. Um, so back into it. So our client here seems to be in their past energy currently. Okay, usually there's a background, we get an idea of the background kind of thing. So this person is currently in their background energy, and that's going to be represented by the Three of Swords as well as the Seven of Cups. So this is like big heartbreak. Well, like confusion, lots of well, yeah, the combination is heartbreak and confusion. This is the threes are for longing and sevens are for struggle. This is longing for magic and struggling for abundance. Um, so this is someone who is like very in deep, 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 deep longing, deep, deep, like struggling with their longing, like fighting off the feelings. Maybe it kind of gives me the idea of limerence. Um, with our with our adolescent of wands, this is interesting. I'm not quite sure what personality type this is going to be in. The adolescent of wands gives me antisocial energy, but I would not have noticed that the antisocial individual, those who are on the antisocial spectrum, I did not realize that they could experience limerence, or like deep attachment for something, striving for something, maybe just confused. Like, I do think that the antisocial their focus in life is to achieve freedom, the freedom to do whatever it is that they want to do. The crux of that, when you're unaligned, is that the more you chase your freedom, the less you'll have of it. Because it's running from you, it's playing that game. If you run after something, it's going to run away from you. So I think the antisocial runs towards freedom, and therefore freedom runs from it. This can be applied to any other aspect. You may resonate with that concept without being antisocial. There's lots of things that you can run towards that will run from you. Yeah, lots of things. And it's a particular way of doing it, and I'll probably get into that. As far as aspiration goes, now there's a kind of like a tier list of aspirations. Their immediate aspirations are going to be represented by the Seven of Wands and the Four of Swords. So this is someone who is, like, again, struggling for abundance and settling into stability. So their aspiration is to, like, kind of like fight their way into like a comfortable place. This is someone who was like, okay, I have to grind, and I have to grind day and night, hard, fuck sleep, like that A$AP Rocky song with FKA Twigs. And when I get my bag, we can be like the Gwen Stefani song, Luxurious, working night and day, and now we get to lay back type of energy. That's that type of energy. So this is someone who's working really, really hard so they can get some type of peace. This is kind of giving me a little bit of antisocial energy, which is interesting. This is a new insight for me. And then their ultimate ambition is the queen, well, not the queen, the adult of pentacles. So this is about social, because all the queens or adults are about agreeability. So this is interacting with other people, and conscientiousness because it's the pentacles. So this is going to be, what would we say that would be? Like a busy schedule. Yeah, like a busy schedule, someplace to go. Like this is giving a little bit like, this is someone who wants people to see and places to go, things to do. Yeah, they want to have like kind of like an adventure. This is very interesting. I would say that, let me think about that, because it's the action, all the actions giving antisocial, but this could be distracted, or what we used to call social. So antisocial or social is funny. That's interesting. Let's dig a little deeper into this. Let's look at these two together. So we have the Seven of Wands and the Three of Swords. So this is longing for something to do. They're bored, kind of. Restless. I wouldn't say bored, they're restless. And then we have the Four of Swords with the Seven of Cups. That's going to be, yeah, again, a little bit more of that restless energy, a little bit of that, wished I could quiet my mind. It's giving a little bit like of intrusive thoughts. Yeah, it's giving a little bit intrusive thoughts. I see we're going to have a little bit of a soft spot for that antisocial today. Violent bastard, but very Aries energy. Very, very Aries energy. How do we feel about that in the Temple of Aphrodite? Mixed feelings about that. Got very mixed feelings about that. Attached to the Three of Swords, we also have the Two of Pentacles. So not only are they restless, but yeah, they're restless and they don't know what to do, like directionless. Since there's a lot of cards, I'm going to try to be quick about my interpretations, but And then along with the Seven of Cups, we have the Hangman. So this is, yeah, the intrusive thoughts is the honk. I didn't have a thought when it honked, so it can't be a confirmation for something. But maybe it's a little bit of that we'll try anything type of energy. This is maybe someone who, like, you know how you get downloads or enlightenments or epiphanies or something like that. This is someone who, like, thinks every epiphany is divine, I suppose. This is giving me a little bit for you Bible girlies out there, but Saul or Paul or whoever it is, and when he had the visions of meeting Jesus and then he wrote all that stuff about righteous indignation or whatever it is, that's very antisocial energy. Which is interesting because I would say that Jesus was very romantic in his representation. Yeah. So we have a romantic resistance supporting a romantic. Doesn't really work like that, but that's just my opinion. Now you can have a different opinion. For all my Bible girlies out there, you know, I would definitely see how that translated into the history of what happened. You know, I would definitely look at the history of all that, and I would ask yourself, is this, were the results loving or not? And then you might get some clarity. But I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that alone. Um, this is why I worship the goddess. That masculine energy is a little bit too antisocial for what I think is appropriate for my particular goals. So, connected to the not two of swords, the two of pentacles is going to be the sun. So this is someone who is just looking for a sign. This is so interesting. Yeah, looking for a sign. Again, and I believe that there are well, of course, there are religious people of every personality type, but this is like, not only are they antisocial, but they're like heavy religious. And I think that goes into, like, have you ever seen the movie Seven with Brad Pitt? I think it was with Brad Pitt. If you ever, oh, it's so traumatizing. I do not recommend. If you haven't seen it, you're lucky, very, very lucky. But it's very much like, you know how we have like religious serial killers, which that character was. And I'm going to spoil it. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. It's not a fun. It's not fun. All right. None of that was fun. None of that was fun or enjoyable or enlightening or anything like that. It was just pure awfulness. But it's giving very much like that. Yeah, very much like, it's also giving me the movie The Witch with two V's. With the father, and he was exceptionally religious man, right? But also exceptionally antisocial because he did not give two shits about rules or regulations or how he was making other people feel. This is very, like, yeah, I would say righteous indignation. I don't even know how to say the word because I don't really believe in it, but personally, you can't force people to be righteous. Again, that's the whole reason why we do these readings, is because all these personalities exist for a reason. There's no way to get rid of them. Trying to get rid of these energies is just as bad as it being in them. Yeah, I guess, just as bad as being in it. Honestly, it should be like, I mean, yeah, do the best you can. I definitely do believe in ostracizing people, and that's exactly what happened to this guy. But with a father from the witch, but he was excommunicated, and I think this is exactly what we do. That's exactly what we do with the romantic resistance. We ostracize them. They're romantic resistant. They will not let romance exist. And romance is, I wrote it down, in the romance NIC 343 when I'm saying this, so call that a sign. Yeah, so if you're watching this and you're antisocial and also religious and you're looking for a sign or spiritual, whatever it is, um, let this be your sign to calm down before you get kicked out of the village. Because the notions that are supposed to embody here in the romantic group is nurturing, encouraging, and understanding. Now, if you're trying to, a lot of the people that I described were not nurturing, we're not encouraging, and we're not understanding. So, and I think that is very much like if we look, I mean, I don't know, some people are so obsessed with Christianity, but the person that is named after embodies nurturing, encouraging, and understanding as a personality type. So it really, I don't understand where we got the confusion here. Um, Thank you, Aphrodite. Um, so yeah. Um, on the side of we're attached to the hangman, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is, oh my God, this is very much as soon as they get a thought, they think they need to act on it. They feel the urge, the impulse to act on it. This is very unrestrained energy. This is very, very enlightening. Very, very interesting. Attached to the sun, we have the not nine, the 10 of wands. So this is giving me a lot about. This is giving me very much to the witch with the father and going out and being like, I'm gonna go out into nature and work with my hands and teach my kids to be exceptionally obedient and ashamed of their natural selves or whatever. Which is kind of crazy because why have kids? You know, if you think that the natural body is just so terrible, why have kids? Why promote more unnatural, more evil-bodied deities, creatures, beings? I would say into the world. So if you're highly religious, if you're in this energy, I would say don't have kids. Don't have kids. I would say that for multiple reasons, but well, if you're religious, if you're a particular type of religious, I mean, the Abrahamic religions kind of seem very similar in the sense of like, it's really, I mean, I can only speak for Christianity because I have not been involved heavily in is the Islamic culture or the Jewish culture, but it does give a little bit of that confusion for me because it's like it's very much like people are terrible but also keep making them, which is to me is very like if you're interested in a gnostic like if you're interested in any gnostic teachings, the demigorgon, oh, not demigorgon, that's from Stranger Things, but the demiurge, that sounds like demiurge stuff to me. That sounds like real demiurge stuff to me. But connected to the Eight of Cups, we have the Nine of Cups. So this is someone who's like gonna go and start a cult, and that's exactly what the father from the witch did, but with his family. Like he was gonna be cult leader, tell them exactly what to do. He's gonna be in control of everything, and no one could get any like second opinion, or like if he decided he wanted to abuse all of them, who could say anything about it? Nobody. And this is why it's so dangerous to be isolated. Don't be isolated. Do not isolate yourself. Definitely don't isolate yourself with someone who thinks that they know better than you do. Don't do that. Do not do that. Always get a second opinion. It only benefits them that they're the only one in control. It does not benefit you. It cannot benefit you. It cannot. It cannot. You cannot, one person in power cannot benefit many. It only benefits one. Um, we also, on the side, not connected to anything, but on the side of like this, looking for a new sort of biblical sense of self, we have the Hierophant, which kind of emphasizes this almost like, very religious energy, very controlling, very patriarchy type of energy. I don't really like the Hermit card too much, but doesn't mean that it shouldn't exist in the tarot deck. So it's there for a reason. Um, and then on the opposite side, we have the Child of Wands. So this is, again, someone who is like, they get an idea, they run with it. It's very much like unruly child type of energy, very antisocial. And I think that's really interesting when you get an antisocial character who thinks that they're embodying father figure type of energy. They're in this, the father figure energy is not dominating energy. That's just dominating energy. Father figure energy is nurturing, encouraging, and understanding. The same as motherly energy is all the same thing. You just might do it in different ways depending on your physical capabilities, as far as like, and that can mean anything. It doesn't even have to be about gender. Um, But yeah, I would say this person is wondering why there's so much conflict, I suppose, in the world with the Five of Wands, and there's so much conflict in the world because of you. Mm. Ooh. Ooh. Man, sorry to break it to you. And I know you're not going to like that, but, or maybe you will because you like to be confronted. Um, I do think that antisocial individuals get a thrill out of being confronted. I was doing a whole list of reasons why certain personality types would cheat on their significant partner. And for the antisocial, I believe they'll do it so that they can get in trouble. Like if just imagine someone, like imagine a guy cheats on his wife with another woman, and her underwear is left in the car. He left it there on purpose so that you would find him and you would start yelling at him, and so he can be like, see, everyone's against me, this is why I don't have any, that's why I'm not loyal to anybody, because no one's patient with me, or no one understands me. And that's, it's all, you're just playing the psychological loop of like, you're just trying to justify why you will not be harmonious with other people, or basically why you feel like you don't need to respect other people's boundaries, by pushing them, by crossing their boundaries, pushing them, and having them push any like respectable person's boundary. And I think the thing that you're missing is that you're not respectable because you're not respecting. Okay, all right. If you're watching this and you're antisocial, I try not to dog people, but um, we need to get that out of the way first, and then I can comfort you with some ideas of what you can do with your personality type that might not affect other people in a terrible way, which seems to be like, and you'll know if it's you because you will have a rap sheet of being like just terribly inconsiderate of other people's boundaries. um, and if this is about love, because you came here to Aphrodite, and you're wondering why everyone's fighting or whatever, it's because you're making them. Again, it's all you. Um, and I do think that you are a force that needs to exist in the world. There needs to be conflict in the world. There needs to be a type of you in the world. You need to inspire conflict in other people. You need to, well, I mean, it's not like you're going to do this in a way that is going to be helpful to anybody or harmonious to anybody, because it's just not in your personality type. So I guess I won't waste my breath on some of that stuff. But I do think, I mean, because I was gonna say, like, I do think that if you did this in a like kind of fetish type of way, you wouldn't respect the safe word. You wouldn't respect when it's done. You'll break the rules because there's rules to be broken. You'll just break the rules because there's rules to be broken. Um, and again, I think that you should exist in the world, but maybe in the forest and not in the village. So I would go out there where there are no rules, which I think was probably would be bothersome to you because there are no rules to break in the woods. So besides, you know, respecting the lives of the creatures that live there, so you can go in there and torture all the animals, which would be very upsetting to me. So I really don't know what to do with you. I really don't know what to do with you. Um, I think maybe I was doing a list as why. Now this has nothing to do with romance or anything like that. But I was gonna make a list of why people, certain personality types, would unalive themselves, and I think that an antisocial would do that because you're not supposed to. All of this, a lot of the reason why antisocial does anything is because they're not supposed to, and it's so they can exercise that freedom that they can do. What did I write down here? They want to be able to do anything. And the best way to feel like you can do anything is to do things that other people tell you you can't. So you can be like, see, I can do it. I can do anything. Which is okay. Which is, I'm like, okay. You're definitely gonna get a lot of side eyes from me. But okay. All right, you can do anything. All right, that's a fun thing for you to choose to do. You can do anything. You chose to do that. That's kind of crazy. You know, lots of other people, you know, invent airplanes and penicillin, but you want to kick a dog because you want to do anything. All right, I guess. It's not all right, but what am I to do about it? My hands are a little bit tied. Besides telling other people not to humor you, basically. Yeah. Yeah. What was I gonna say here? If you are looking for love advice from me, the Oracle of Aphrodite, um, I would say is to kind of increase your agreeability. I did watch a one video. It was a couples counseling series, and I did see one individual who I thought really leaned into the antisocial personality group before they were incarcerated, and they were like conditioned because I feel like rehabilitation is just conditioning because it's not respectful of someone's current personality type. And I guess now that we're talking about this, I guess there are some personality types that are hard to be accepting of. But it was conditioned to lean a little bit more into an obsessive energy where everything has to be done a specific way, otherwise it is life threatening. And you know, there'll be extreme punishments. So I think, you know, would be fun. um I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but I think that maybe if you're an antisocial watching this, you know what might be fun for you is that every time you did something wrong against the rules, you got the shit kicked out of you, like every single time. And I think that would be fun, like a shock collar. And this is terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible, right? It's terrible, right? But so is letting beasts just kind of run about society. where we are trying, I mean, definitely, if you're coming, okay, I'm gonna say this. Next time, I'm gonna get, actually, you know what, I should get the chalk collar now, because we can't give second chances to you. Honestly, can't get second chances to you. So I am gonna dog the shit out of you. I'm gonna dog the shit out of you. You can't be telling people what to do. You don't know what's right. You only have one perspective, and it is to go against rules. How are you going to inspire harmony, especially in a religious or spiritual sense, when you cannot harmonize with anything at all? You can't do it. All right. And if you're over here striving for all the things that you can do, you can't do this. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it in the perspective that you have right now. All right. So talk about freedom. You are imprisoning yourself in your need to express your freedom. All right. All right. You're always gonna fail at what you want to do. You're always gonna fail at what you want to do. All right, your personality is just not adaptive for society. You are an animal, you belong in the woods. All right, if you are going to be in society, you need to be on a leash, and preferably a shock collar. That's what I'm going to tell to you. All right, that's what I'm going to tell you. You are not considerate enough about to other people to respect their boundaries. Why do you think that I should be polite to you? You have to give what you expect to receive. Okay, and if you're watching this and if you're antisocial and you have a rap sheet of crossing people's boundaries, hitting people, destroying their property, verbally accosting people, if I'm using that word right, intruding, breaking any laws that would be an uncomfort to someone's mental stability or physical security, you're a monster. Okay? You're a monster and you need to be in a cage. Okay? All right. Glad we got that down. So, I'm going to pull some gratitude cards, hopefully to lighten the energy. And then, there's so many ways for you to do this. If you ever cut someone's hair without their permission, like I saw one time, this guy cut this girl's hair because it was on her desk. Now, she might have been putting her hair on the desk on purpose, and that would be antisocial because she's not respecting someone else's space, and him cutting her hair is also antisocial. So you just saw, I feel like David Attenborough, because I'm like, we're seeing two alpha beasts fighting it out for for what's it called, territory. Yeah, you're both beasts and you both need to be in cages. Both of them. Both of them. I don't care how old they are. I don't care how old they are. You need to learn soon. All right? You can't just, if you have a puppy who's over here doing all kinds of tearing up everything, if you don't punish them, yeah, if you don't correct the behavior, they will continue to do this full grown, and then they'll start biting people. And then it's going to be like, oh no, now my dog has to be put down because he attacked the neighbor because I never taught them how to be civilized. And the same thing with kids. There's with the soft parenting shit, you need to take something away for kids. You need to take something away from them. Well, for dogs, you put them in. You do something. I don't know. I'm not an expert in dogs. Talk to what's his name? No, I keep on wanting to say Sylvester Stallone, but the dog guy, the dog whisperer. What was his name? I have no idea. But yeah, if you have a kid who's antisocial, like I remember watching that one movie with Tilda Swinton and Ezra Miller, and where he was antisocial, and she did not do anything about it. I mean, she went through what seemed like some crazy postpartum depression. And he's doing all this crazy stuff, and then lo and behold, he's shooting people with an arrow. And I'm sorry to ruin the movie for you, but again, that's not a good feeling. But he's over here shooting people in a gymnasium with a bow and arrow, like a crossbow or something like that. That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. All right. Everybody wants to be all sweet to everybody, but there's some personalities that you just can't let. You can't just let run away or run around just crazy. Not to be all like again, I'm not doing witch hunting things or anything like that. But if you see your kid choking out a squirrel in the backyard and you don't say anything about that, and then you go on TV and be like, oh, I had no idea that they were kidnapping the kids from the neighborhood and torturing them and leaving them in the river or whatever shit they're gonna do. It's just exceptionally irresponsible here in society. It's just exceptionally irresponsible to not see that behavior and be like, hey, stop that. Stop that or we're going to get rid of you. Stop that or you're going to jail. Stop that or you're going to jail. But I was trying to be nice. I told myself after doing, I did a dependent personality trait yesterday, or personality review, and I told myself I'm gonna be nicer, and here we are with antisocial. It's always a test, always a test. But who doesn't love a test from Aphrodite? Yeah, when you have a child, I don't know. This is I'm just and I don't mean to dog the male male gender. It seems that antisocial qualities are promoted heavily in the male gender, so this is why I do that. But um, those who are assigned or identify as female can also exhibit these traits. This is like, fighting some other girl because she's flirting with your man. I mean, I guess flirting with your man is a little bit disrespectful too. But you can't be putting your hands on people. You cannot be putting your hands on people. You can't. It's not nurturing, it's not encouraging, and it's not understanding. All right? It's not romantic. All right? Here in the temple, you got to be romantic. All right? Stop visiting me if you do not wish to be romantic. Get the fuck out of my face. Go somewhere else and terrorize somebody else. I can't save everybody, so you should consider that good luck, I guess. I don't know. If I can find a way to save everybody, best believe I will. And then who will you prey on? Nobody. You'll have to prey on yourself, just like the Ouroboros. Eating your own fucking tail. Like people who like key other people's cars and stuff. But I do think that, and it all has to be like this. It's interesting because I can see lots of borderline individuals getting to a level in which they are acting antisocial. But those borderline tend to be, when they act antisocial, that's when people are like, oh my God, you're so wrong. I can't believe you did this because you don't normally do this. So you have to be punished. That's okay. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. But when it comes to like, when antisocial people have always done it, people are like, well, they've always been like that. They just, they don't know what to do with themselves. And it's, it was hard for him growing up. It was hard for me, as a, I'm imagining a parent saying that or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know why we're giving the leniency to this personality trait. If we were going to give a leniency to anybody, it should be to the one who doesn't normally do this. If you give leniency to someone who normally does this, you're giving them permission. You're giving them consent. And if you do that with your kid, you're also, and then they do something to someone else and you try to justify that, you're giving them consent to hurt other people, which isn't right. You don't have the right to do that. You don't have the right to do that. As soon as they do it to somebody else and you're like, well, they do have like that, jail. All right, go to jail. Go to jail. And then when you come out, you might be a little bit more obsessive in that energy. And I think that it's easily explainable because they're the obsessive and the antisocial. I mean, everybody in the romantic resistant group are high in extroversion and low in agreeability, but the antisocial prioritizes extroversion. So being loud and noticed and loud and noticed. by calming that aspect, and so that it's even disagreeable and um disagreeable and extroverted, it evens out to a level of just simply competitive, which is detrimental to the mental stability of everybody, because you feel like you have to be the best at everything, and if you're not the best at anything, then you're not worth um, existing. This is the damage that the obsessive personality type does. Now, the only thing I can say about the obsessive personality type is that they should not be in charge of anything. um, they shouldn't be in charge of anything, and I think that's kind of interesting, because what else are what are they gonna do? They strive on the idea of being in charge of something, to control something, to will things into existence, um, but their personality is detrimental to the majority. Is detrimental to everybody else, even to themselves, because they're very competitive with themselves. They don't give recognition to others. They can't do it, so they can never be encouraging, and that's what we need to do in order to be romantic. At the bottom of the deck, we have the two of Pentacles again, so this is very much like, hey, you know what, and I'm going to sympathize with this. If you have a romantic resistant personality type, and you're being called out on it, you might feel like, well, what am I supposed to do? And I would say that raising that level of agreeability is just so important. You have to understand that other people exist. They have to exist. And just because they exist doesn't mean that you can do anything you want to them. You have to respect other people's boundaries. I think that's what it really comes down to when it comes to agreeability. You have to respect other people's boundaries. And if you cannot, you can't be a part of society. That's the best thing that you can do. And if that's going to make you feel sad and lonely or whatever, consider that you're training for your rehabilitation. Maybe leave for a little bit, feel the sadness, the despair until it's just too much. Then step into society for like a day or less, and practice respecting other people's boundaries. That's the only thing you can do, right? You can't be in society and disrespect other people's boundaries. It just crumbles society. It just does. And then after a while, you may raise your agreeability high enough so that you can enter into a romantic state. I mean, yeah, it's either raise your agreeability into a romantic state or lower your extroversion into an unromantic state, where you got paranoid, schizoid, and schizotypal, where, kind of being in the woods or someplace by yourself is the trademark of the unromantic. The unromantic do not socialize, so it's either choose to socialize or you choose to respect people's boundaries. All right, or you choose. Oh, sorry, I said that wrong. You either choose to isolate yourself or respect people's boundaries. Only two ways. Or get a handler. I don't know exactly who is going to do that, besides another unromantic, and they're not going to teach you how to do it well. Maybe maybe you might be able to find a romantic who might do that, but it definitely, I guess if you ask for it, then that can be, nah, it's not going to work like that. It's not going to work like that. Yeah, you have to make a choice. No one's going to make the choice for you, okay? And you probably wouldn't like to be restrained anyway, since you're striving for freedom all the time. But yeah, you should either exercise your freedom away from other people, or exercise your freedom within your own personal boundary, not someone else's. We also have here the Five of Swords. You're trying to be the best. Why? Why? For what? What do you get? What do you get? Just a sense of power. You're just running off of your ego. The romantic resistance runs so heavily on the ego, but the ego's not a real, like, it's not. It's like it doesn't get anything. There's nothing really to get. There's nothing really to gain. If you had power over everybody, you would still want more power over everything. It's never. It's a it's a hole in you that'll never be filled. So you either have to learn, you have to learn how to ignore the hole. And I think that's where we get the intrusive thoughts and stuff like that. Just because you think that you can overpower someone doesn't mean that you should. Like, again, you won't be satisfied. You will not be satisfied. We also have the Seven of Wands again. Like, I know conflict is inspiring to you, comforting in some sense, exciting, thrilling, but you're gonna get ran out of the village. Maybe you want to get ran out of the village. Maybe you want to get run out of the village, and then every time you get in society, you're hoping that someone will find you and run you out of the village. Just like when serial killers, I saw, I was watching another video from Bailey Sarian, and it was about the lipstick killer. And the lipstick killer wrote on the wall, like, "Please catch me before I kill again." And I feel like this is a little bit of a trademark of an antisocial type of energy. Like, they want to get caught. They want to do something bad. They want to get caught. They want to be punished. They want to break out, and they want to do it again. And I guess this is just energy that we all need to kind of accept. There's just some people that as soon as you catch them, you got to send them to jail. And then when they break out, and you catch them again and you send them to jail. It's like kind of like a game. I guess we could be a little bit playful about it if we want to. And I think that kind of leans into the Three of Cups. Where, like, it's a game. It seems like a game. Like, you have your comrade, your little, it's all, it's a little bit like, I can see why people band together with this type of energy, not out of harmony, but there's power in numbers. The more people that you have with you, the more you're more freedom you have to do whatever you want. And also it promotes the idea that this is a game. You do this, you get caught, you spend some time or whatever, and then you do it all over again. So, I do think that Aries is a good, Aries, the deity, is a good god for games, sports, anything that's competitive, which could be a little bit into the obsessive area, but I think Athena also works really well with the obsessive. So I think there's like there's an area there. But I think Athena could also be in schizoid. Yeah, schizoid, because it's about security for her. It's more of like, Athena seems more of like the defense attorney, and or like it's defensive, like protecting the homestead. And then Aries is more about invading and conquering. Oh, the Child of Cups, and like, again, this is a little bit like a lack of emotional control. You need to do some inner child work if you want to change. If you don't want to change, then continue playing the game. There's nothing really to tell you. I don't know why you're here. I don't know why you asked for any advice. Maybe just to test me, because I don't know, you're antisocial, so you're gonna test people. You're gonna push people's boundaries. Gonna see how much you can get out of them, how much time we're gonna spend on you. We also have the Strength card, and you think this is being strong, but strength is in grace, not in domination. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. I'm kind of tired of talking about you. And we also have the Six of Wands. Like, again, you think it's like, really, Just that ego. It's just that ego. The ego is strong in you. The ego, like the force is strong with you with this one. The ego is strong with this one. It's like you're looking for some. It's like, you know, when serial killers kill or whatever, and then like I was just watching the chessboard killer or whatever, and he was trying to break the record of the most people killed or whatever, so that he could be infamous. Infamous is probably the better word. I was gonna say famous, but infamous. Um, boy, like whatever. Oh my god, I'm done. Whatever. I don't know why you came here. I don't know why you came here. If you are watching this and you're antisocial, and I'm gonna start saying this for all the romantic resistance here. If you're watching this, and if you're antisocial, narcissistic, or obsessive, the more you continue these, because you visited the temple of Aphrodite, this was a big mistake, okay? You will be cursed for the end of your days. Everything will fall apart and slip through your fingers. You will never find success, any form of peace or happiness. Your ego will be ripped from you in the most painful way possible. Okay? All right. Well, that's all I have for you today. I hope that you have, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you didn't enjoy the video, that's totally your choice, and I completely respect it. I hope that you have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night. If you do not wish to have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night, then that's totally your choice, and I completely respect it. All right, until next time, guys, I'll see you.